Hi guys, I'm Mark and I'm an Oyster Boy, and today I'm here to talk to you about the Distill Pro from Still Spirits. I have filmed a video, an intro video to this, which was quite a while ago actually. Life got in the way. I've now got time to follow up on it, although for you guys it's only been about 2 or 3 weeks. And here is the Distill Pro. So you've seen me make a wash, how you do that, and add the turbo yeast. I've now cleared that wash out and I'm ready to run it through the Distill. So let's take a bit of a closer look at this unit before we put the spirit in there, and then I'll show you actually how to use it afterwards. Okay guys, so here is the Distill Pro from Still Spirits. Now, when you buy this kit, you can buy it in a couple of ways. You can either buy this whole assembly as a full Distill Pro, or you can just buy, let's say for example, you've been using an Distill for a while, and you already own that unit. You can just keep this bit from your Distill and you can just buy the head reader or power cable and turn your existing Distill into an Distill Pro. You're probably thinking, oh, why would I want to do that? And there's a couple of reasons why, and some of the best bits I think about this compared to the original Distill are the fact that you can use this in either reflux mode or pot still mode. I'm going to be using it as a reflux still because I just want to make some clean spirit, and then I want to flavour that however I like, using some Still Spirits flavourings. But the way that you would change that is by taking this little nozzle out here. It does come with a little spanner and a spare nozzle. I'm not sure if you can see on that whether it's close enough up, but that's got an R on it for reflux. What it essentially does is the size of the hole underneath here is teeny tiny, so it changes the amount of time it takes to sort of run through and strip everything out. I'm just going to pop that back in there now so I don't lose it. So they are quite small. Yeah, so the one for the pot still mode has got a slightly larger nozzle. And you can change the still itself from reflux mode to pot mode as well, using this button here, which sort of like helps you select what you want to do with it. Essentially, if it's green, it's in reflux mode. If it's purple, it's in pot still mode. You've got a reset button down here if you need to sort of, cycle the power for any reason. But the two coolest things that I think are biggest differences about this, other than the difference in mode that you can use, is when you use the original Distill, you would sort of switch it on and then you would wait an unknown amount of time, usually around 2 to 3 hours, for it to start dripping product through the nozzle, at which point you would have to be around to catch the first 25 to 50 ml to discard them, because that would contain a load of methanol and you wouldn't really want that. They've incorporated this little cool bit here, which is a little collection jar which will collect the right amount that you can discard, but it's also got like a floating switch here. So if you imagine, I'll pop that back in there because again I'll lose it or break it. If you can imagine that sort of fills up with liquid, and then when it gets to there's a floating switch that raises up and stops the liquid dripping down into here, and then diverts it down from this nozzle into whatever receptacle you're using to collect the spirit in. You can also, nice noise, you can put a little parrot there if you want to monitor the strength of the spirit coming out as it runs through, and then collect your spirit after it's been through there. Or if you're not really bothered, you can just put a jug under there and collect your spirit straight away. There is also, there has also been a change to the top of the unit here, whereas on the older units it used to be a botanical jar that would live underneath the lid. Now the botanical jar is here, so you can put any botanicals, anything you want to flavour. If you want to make gin or whatever, you can put that in there when you're using the still. And then what we're going to do is we're going to take a look inside the unit as well. There's not really a lot to see inside the unit, but I'll take the lid off and just let you have a look. I'm going to move that out of the way there. And what you can see in here is it's quite a large unit, holds about 4 litres, same as the old Distills, and then you've got these ceramic saddles really, which you can pop in there, which are going to stop any surge boiling, which is where you get a essentially large bowl that will rise up from the bottom and pop the lid off. Having those saddles in there means that just won't happen. So that is the unit at a glance. Pop this lid back on. So that's the unit at a glance. I'm going to get some of my wash popped in there with a little bit of this distilling conditioner, which is essentially an anti-foaming agent, which is going to stop things boiling over and frothing everywhere. Unlikely that it'll happen even if you don't use this, but better safe than sorry for the sake of what, £1 or £2 I think for a bottle that will last. This is one of these capfuls per 4-litre run, so the bottle's going to last you forever, really. So yeah, let's crack on. Hi guys, back again. So far I've shown you how to make a wash, I've shown you how to put together the air still, and now I'm going to set a load of wash running through the still and collect some high strength alcohol out the other side. Obviously, make sure that this is legal in the country that you're doing it in. I've travelled away to a country that is legal and taken my entire kitchen with me. Just make sure that you do the same. As you can see here, I've got the Air Still Pro behind me. I've got a jug under the spout ready to collect the spirit. I've got another jug ready to scoop some of my wash out and put it into the still. I've got some distiller's conditioning, or distilling conditioner even. I've made sure that the little jar there is empty and ready to collect the first 20 or so mil. I've removed the botanicals basket and made sure that the saddles are appropriately aligned as per the instructions. So once you've done all that, and make sure that your little ceramic saddles are in the boiler and everything's clean and ready to go, we are going to put the wash in here, and then we're going to get things plugged in and ready to go. Okay, so I've got my jug here, I've got some of my nice wash down here, and this is now pretty much like crystal clear because we used the 2-part findings that came with it. So let's get this loaded in. A few little drips there, I can live with that. There we go, 4 litres in. We then pop a capful of the distilling conditioner in. Reassemble the Air Still Pro. So now everything's all reassembled, I'm just going to plug the power cable in here, press this button once to put it in standby mode, and then I'll press this button one more time to turn the still on in reflux mode, and you may be able to hear it just cycled the pump very quickly, and now the fan's turned on and it's starting to heat the kettle. So once this has got up to temperature, this fan's going to kick in again, but for now it's going to be quite quiet, and maybe after about an hour it'll start to collect spirit on the other side. So the wash that I'm using today is about 16% ABV, and I think that it will collect at between 80 and 90% ABV, so I'm probably looking at getting between 700 and 800 ml of spirit out of here. We'll see what I get at the end of it, and yeah, then we'll just carry on running it through until the whole batch is done, and then we will either in this video or the next one show you how to filter it. Okay, so that's all done. That took about 3.5 hours to run through the whole batch, and we managed to collect, I think, about 550 ml of spirit, which is about 87% ABV. Now, before you filter this through carbon, you need to cut it back with water to 40% or below, and when I do that, we're going to be left with about 1.2 litres of 40% spirit. So I'm going to repeat this process with the rest of the wash, so I'll be doing this another 5 or 6 times. And then once we've got it all collected and cut back with water, I'll come back in another video and show you how we're going to filter that spirit before we mix it with any bases and flavourings that we're going to use before we start drinking it. I mean, you could probably drink some of it as just neat, clear spirit if you were going to have it as a vodka type thing, or mix it with Coke. But I'm probably going to be flavouring all of mine up and mixing it with some of the still spirits bases as well. So we'll come back in another video, show you how we're going to filter it and show you how we're going to do that. But again, the coolest thing that I thought about this compared to the standard air still that I used to have is this little jar here that collects all of the bad stuff that you don't want to drink in this little container here. So that goes right down the sink and you don't get involved with it. But also you haven't got to wait around to try and collect that before you start collecting your other spirits. So cool piece of kit. I'm going to get all this cleaned up, run through it a number of other times, and then we'll come back in another video and show you how we're going to filter it. Cheers. Oysters out.